Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. This is Nephilim VA bringing you the 7th chapter of You Either Die a Villain or See Yourself Become a Hero, written by FantasyFreak_2 on AO3. Villain AUs are my beloved, so we must heed the trigger warnings before we proceed. This fanfiction is for mature audiences with canon-typical violence and a trigger warning for abuse, suicide, murder, bullying, and discrimination. If that isn't your style, then I recommend Shades of Green, which is written by Maybe It's Friendly on AO3. It can be found on my channel! Canon Divergence is the name of the game, with this tale of Class 1A being a class specifically for rehabilitating villains in the making. With that being said, the chapter summary is as followed. It's time for the heist! Now I implore you to sit back and relax whilst I read to you. Chapter 7. Heist. The next morning, everyone woke up very early and gathered at breakfast. Todoroki, who wasn't there in the evening before, seemed a bit confused before Ida explained the plan. Todoroki looked at Izuku for a few seconds, then said, "I'm in." Izuku smiled back. "See, life is so much more fun outside of Endeavor's shadow." Todoroki looked away, but Izuku thought he saw the beginnings of a smile. At 5 o'clock, the alarms around the Class 1A had a short glitch. Nothing big, it wasn't even noted by the alarm system, no one was notified, so no one noticed the 21 people slowly sneaking out of the dorm. While the bracelets that any student of the A-class wore were designed to track their movements, they weren't accurate to the exact meter. To stop constant false alarms, the school was designed in a way that the students could move freely on the school ground. Considering the security system that surrounded the school, it was very unlikely they could escape anyway, but if they did, the bracelets would stun them. And it wasn't like there was a lot of dangerous gadgets a potentially evil student could use just lying around on the school ground. The really dangerous equipment of the support department was locked away in a storehouse, which had its own security system, in front of which Class 1A had just gathered, trying to find out how to get in. "Can't you just short-circuit this too, Pikachu?" Kachan growled. "Easier said than done," Kaminari replied. "Our dorms is one thing. We were already inside, so it's easier to get to the security system. And to be honest, the system wasn't really up to UA standards. I think because you can't really go anywhere even if you leave the dorms, they didn't try especially hard." "I can melt a hole in the door?" Mina said. "That will definitely make an alarm go off," Izuku said. "Maybe I could freeze the alarm," Todoroki suggested. "We would have to know where it is located first," Yaoyorozu said. "Then we would have to be sure that there isn't an extra alarm hidden somewhere, and even then it could go off the minute it unfreezes, and if a teacher saw what happened, they would certainly accuse you first." "Can anyone look inside?" Ida asked. "One moment," Uraraka answered and started floating up. Jiro went to the wall of the storehouse and put her earphone jacks inside. "I can hear the electricity of the alarm running through the wall, but..." She looked up surprised at the same time as Uraraka above them. She shouted, "There's someone in there!" Everyone looked at them surprised. "Who would be inside there at 5 in the morning?" Saro asked. Kachan sneered. "Not everyone sleeps until the afternoon." Yaoyorozu frowned. "Well, yes, but the school is closed. Not even the teachers are here except a few to keep watch." Well, whoever it is, that will make it a whole lot easier, Shinso said and knocked at the door. What the hell are you doing? Izuku hissed. They're going to discover us! Don't worry, I've got this, Shinso answered and knocked again, louder this time. The person inside, it seemed to be a woman or girl, answered. Eh? Hello? Hello, Shinso shouted. Could you open the door for me? I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that. Oh. Shinso smiled and something in his voice seemed different, kind of hypnotic. I'm sure you are. The door opened and a girl with pink hair who wore goggles and was covered in oil stains appeared. Her eyes seemed weird to Izuku, kind of dead-looking, but then she blinked and looked at the students standing by the door. Wow, what are you all doing here? Shinso cursed under his breath. It seemed to Izuku like he had controlled the girl to open the door but slipped up. Izuku decided that he and Shinso should sit down sometime soon and work on his quirk control. Yaoyorozu tried to save the situation. Hi there. We just wanted to ask if we could take a look of the support items you might have lying around. She sounded very unsure. The pink-haired girl lit up like a Christmas tree. You want to see my babies? Sato looked at her in shock. Your babies? But the girl already grasped the student who was closest to her, which was Izuku, to his own chagrin, and pulled him into the storeroom. The girl started to talk so fast, she barely seemed to breathe. Hey, I'm Hatsume Mei, I'm a first year in the support department, and I love building things. I call my creations my babies, and trust me, you can't wait to try them out in the field. I wanted to work on them until midnight, but my teacher, Maijima, didn't allow it. Said it was illegal for a minor to stay so long at school, but he gave me permission and a key to continue working here in the morning. Oh, actually, who are you? She stopped at a workbench with something that looked like a barely assimilated gun. Then she turned and looked Izuku up and down, then looked at his classmates who had started to follow him inside hesitantly. Her gaze stopped at Todoroki. Oh my god. You are the 1A kids! Instead of horrified about being surrounded by the villains class, she seemed ecstatic. I saw the designs of your hero suits yesterday. I can't wait to work on them. I mean, most of it will be made by an extern company who is specialized in making them, but Sensei said I can help make amendments and fine-tuning if needed. Yeah, actually, that's why we are here, Izuku said nervously. You see, as the class who isn't really trusted by anyone, we don't know if we really get what we want. Maybe they keep things from us that could really help us because they are dangerous and we could use it to hurt people. And even if that isn't the case, we could really profit from any ideas you have for us. Especially me. He had to swallow before he managed to say the bad word. Especially me, since I'm quirkless. He looked down. Would Hatsume make fun of him? Tell him he couldn't make it as a hero? That is awesome! Hatsume shouted, and Izuku blinked, confused. A quirkless student, there is nothing that could show off my babies more, especially at the sports festival. She looked him up and down. I'll make you custom-made support items you can use if you allow me to write my name on them. I'll even let you take some back to your dorm in secret. Izuku blinked. Okay, but I don't know if anyone would be able to read it in a fight. Hatsume waved that aside. At the sports festival, there are cameras everywhere. Plus, you get filmed while standing still too, so no worries. In the background, Denki giggled. Do you think villains that get beat up by him and notice the name branding will buy your stuff too? Hatsume put her hands on her hips. Any publicity is good publicity. So, what are we working with? Irrespective of being quirkless, what can you do? Izuku stuttered. I learned several martial arts after some problems in school. He glanced at Ka-chan. And I go jogging and parkouring through the city. I started because sometimes people were following me. But my mum is a single mother and we never had the money for much, so I never had a professional trainer. I guess my greatest talent is that I followed heroes around and thought of strategies for them for years. Hatsume put her hand on her chin, thinking, well, let's see what we can do there. Oi! Is there a reason for the rest of us to hang around while you two nerd around? Ka-chan asked. Hatsume shrugged. I could use you as target practice. Several students got white in the face, but she didn't seem to notice. And you can use your quirks and any gadget you see lying around in here without anyone noticing. Izuku saw Uraraka already pawning some smaller items lying around, and she wasn't the only one looking around interested. Meanwhile, Ka-chan started grinning and little explosions started to go off in his hands. Hey! Who of you losers wants to lose to me in combat? Izuku's list. Aizawa. At least he didn't expel them all until now. He actually took their side. I think he really likes us. Most other teachers. Check. Tokoyami, loner type. Probably was excluded for his appearance in the past. Solution, try to include him without imposing on him. He seems like an introvert. He made a joke! Check. Shoji, loner type. Probably was excluded for his appearance in the past too. Maybe he and Tokoyami could be convinced together? Check. Shinzo, loner type, managed to brainwash people at the tests, definitely was excluded for his quirk in school, as another bullied kid Izuku might be able to connect to him. Strange, taste of humor. Check. Todoroki, loner type, hates his father, according to the internet theories was abused by him and kept away from children his age, might be able to convince him by simply showing him someone cared. Strange taste of humor, and seems eager to please. Check. Ka-chan, well that'll be fun. Check. All Might, oh my god. Check. Support department. Check. List is kind of useless by now. I'll remember that Aizawa is the only one left. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support you've given me. The heist ended up not being the heist I expected, but the heist I think we all needed. I don't know why I gave Hatsume a Cockney-esque accent, but I think it works. All credits go to the original creator of this fanfiction, FantasyFreak_2 on AO3. I'd highly appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you subscribe to the channel, and you hit the notification bell to be notified of when I next upload. There is no pressure to do so though. Thank you for visiting my cozy corner of the internet. Keep growing my sunflowers. Mwah!